What's up guys, Vosmink here. So I'm finally doing a Blender tutorial in how to make Fortnite models or Fortnite 3D thumbnails or whatever you're going to try to do with this. And in this video, pretty much I'll be showing you the basics, how to get models, how to render models, how to edit models, and just pretty much just all the detail and basics you'll need for Blender. So the first thing, you're going to need models, obviously, and probably the easiest way and quickest way is to go in certain Discords. I'll put all the links to them in the description. So here's an example of a good Discord. This one's called The Hive. And if you head over to the model downloads, you can see some guy already has 100 plus models. If you go on that, it'll bring you to a Google Drive, and I already have one here. So if you just click on this, it'll bring you this called, it should be called skins, and then these are all the ones that you'll have. You just want to just hold down, download all of them. You should have a little drive, like, book thingy, whatever, and then what I would suggest is making a folder called Blender Models, so you can just move on to those and like put them in here yourself. So let's get into how you actually render a model, and here are some of, like, this is just a bunch of like packs I have myself. So here, this one's called Xexity's pack. This one you can do 3D asset packs. So you go over to this, you can see there's like characters. Even has like backgrounds, back blings, materials, and this is probably one of the best ones in my opinion. Sorry, I'm very sick. But if we go back over to Blender, I'll show you guys how to actually get a model in here. So first off, go over to File and then Open, and then I just had an old one, so like I said, make it one called Blender Models. Something should be called like Drive Download. You just want to put it in the folder and then extract it. So once you have all this, these are all the models I have, and let's just do like something random. We'll just go with, let's say, the bullseye. Double click on the bullseye. Might take a few seconds, and then it'll finally load into Blender. There we go. So here is the model, and to edit it, just want to double click on it, and then usually it should have bones here, but there's some sort of visual glitch that you can do. But if you just click on this, then they should appear right here. So to actually like edit the model, click on the bones, and then go over here and click pose mode, and this is where you can actually edit your model. What I would recommend is go over here to this little running dude, like whatever, this little figure dude, and then click on viewport display, and they're display as wire because they're much thinner and you can see your character more, you can like know what you're doing. And then also make sure to click on the name. You can do axes if you want, but this just looks even more weird. This is just kind of like kind of like something like this, where it's like the angle sort of, but it's not really like required. But so now to edit the character, all you got to do, also you can click on this little hand, you can move it around. You can also use the scroll wheel to zoom, and then hold this down. You can see like different angles. You can turn around the character. So now just click on one of the bones like this. Make sure you're in pose mode, like I said. Double click on this, and then you can go to move. You can just move it around, but I'm not going to do that because it looks weird. Or you can rotate it. I would just do rotation mostly. I wouldn't really say you need to move things unless you're doing something certain with the fingers. So to rotate it, you can just move this around. You can do side to side. You can do up and down like that. So I'm not going to do anything too special. I'll just like put its arm up or something. You can even edit like the eyes and stuff. It does kind of get annoying though. So if you just click on here, you can go over to the right eye. You can make it look like stupid or something. You just make it cross-eyed. Yeah. So there you go. It's pretty stupid, but you can do whatever the heck you want. So yeah, let me find my model. I don't know where it went. There we go. So now what you can also do is if you click on File and then Append, you can actually add more characters. So for an example, let's just go over to, add a deagle or something. So click on it, go over to Object, and then highlight these two. Don't worry about any of these, this doesn't really matter. And then click Append from Library. It might take a few seconds, and then it should appear under your character. Make sure you go over to Object Mode. Click on the whatever you're doing, and then you can move it around. You can do this, and sometimes there is a bit of a glitch where it'll appear very small. it's pretty easy fix. Just click on it and then click S, and this is where you can scale it to like whatever size you'd like. So you can make it like massive, you can make it super tiny, or you can just make it like the normal size. I'm just gonna undo it just to make sure it's like good size. So I'll just move into her hand or something. I'm not gonna do anything special like I said. But if you want to check out some of my Blender projects, just head over to my Instagram. I'll put it in the description. So I'll just do something like that. And then if you want to make it glossy, just click on it, and then double click on it, or just click on it, and then go to this little like red circle thing. Click on it, and you can see this thing says glossy, FAC or whatever. And if you bring it all the way down, you can see it's a lot more glossy. You can do this as well. This will make it like brighter or darker, but I would put these both super low because it's probably like the best settings for a glossy weapon. So now it looks very good. And another thing you're going to need, well, it's actually required to render this character. You want to go over to, make sure you're on object mode, go over to add camera, and then on the bottom it should appear, and it's the same thing. If the glitch happens, just use scale. But you can actually make how big the camera ever you want. Like if you're doing like the append thing where you add more, you would probably want to make the camera bigger, so like you could get more characters or whatever you're doing in the picture. So now just move it around. Let me just move this up, move this back a bit. And then if you click on this little camera, that's what you're going to be looking at. So obviously we don't want it to be looking at her legs, so we'll just do this. If you click on it, you can see we see her more. It just looks so stupid. So once you're done with that, you need a camera no matter what. And if you want this character to look way better, which probably I'd honestly most likely require this and recommend it, go over to add and then light and then area. It'll spawn down here, and then just move it around. It's better to have it at an angle facing toward the character because it just makes it look kind of weird when it's just like full out just facing toward them. So angle it however you want, and then to edit the light, it should some pop over here when you have the light area. Do power. Don't do it super high, like this is fine if it's low quality, just making sure the shades are better. So you can do this whatever you want. I'd just say I'd recommend probably 50 to 100. 100 can be kind of bright, but it doesn't really matter. I'd say 100 is pretty good. So once you're done with that, you're pretty much done with your character. You can add more lights, which I would recommend. Like you could maybe add like another one in front or in the back just to make it look more realistic, like it's like outside or something. But I'm just gonna do one light for now. You can do whatever you want. So once you're done with this, head over to render and then render image, and then it does kind of take a while to render it, but after a while it will. So I'll just speed up this video and then I'll come back when this is done. Okay, so it is now basically done and the render is almost finished. As you can see, the Deagle looks way better, but it just looks still more plain because of the angle I'm at. But you can mess with the setting. I can't get over this. I'm sorry. So once the render is done, if you want to save it to like your downloads or wherever, go on image and then click save as, and then choose whatever, because I'm not really going to save this because I don't really need to. But yeah, that is pretty much the basics on how to make a Blender model. I can't stop looking at this. Okay, so this is pretty much the basics of how to make a Blender model. I will come out with a tutorial on how to make custom models, which I am working on a project with one right now. So maybe in the future, within a few days or weeks, I will make a tutorial on how to make custom models. So thanks everyone for watching this tutorial. If anyone has any questions, make sure to drop a comment and I will hopefully reply, or DM me on Instagram. I'll put my Insta in the chat or in the description. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.